Welcome to our Friday, August 28th lesson. Today we'll be going over lesson number 5, and the title for that one is Creating Graphs Day 1. Our I can statement: I can represent and interpret data using whole numbers. I can add and subtract multi-digit whole numbers up to and including 100,000 using the standard algorithm with place value understanding. Our essential question: how is data useful in a real-world situation? So we're continuing to build upon our answers for this particular question. Our learning targets: today I will be able to interpret data presented in a scaled bar graph and line plot by answering questions about the graphs. Let's take a look at the screen. High temperatures. The line plot below shows the temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit from 1998 to 2018 in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we have a line plot here, and you see the various numbers at the bottom: 95, 96, all the way up to 105, and you see the different x's indicated here to represent a total number. So we have some questions right here. So before we actually get to the questions and answer them, this is a good time for you to go and get a calculator. If you have a calculator available, I want you to go in and get it. We'll pause for a couple minutes, or you can use a calculator on your actual computer. Okay, so we're going to pause for just a couple minutes for you to grab that calculator. It's going to make it easier when you're trying to calculate some numbers here. You've gotten your calculator. I want to give everybody a few minutes just to look over the chart. Give you a few minutes to look over the chart and study it. And for our live lesson, I'm going to ask you to go on and share out some of your ideas about this particular chart. You're going to share it out by typing it into the chat bar. And for those of you who are watching this recorded version, I want you to be thinking about, what are your thoughts and ideas about this chart? What are your thoughts and ideas about the chart? Okay, so we have 5 questions on here that we're going to want to answer, and I want each of you to, utilizing your calculator, to be able to read and answer the actual questions. The first one: how many years are represented in the line plot? The second one: which temperature occurred the most frequently? Which temperature occurred the least frequently? If you added all of the temperatures above 100, what would the sum be? What is the difference between the highest recorded temperature and the lowest recorded temperature? So I've given you an opportunity to kind of look over and study the chart. And for the first question, how many years are represented on the line plot? That's a matter of adding up the total number of x's that you see in here. So if you add them all up, let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So our answers for how many years are represented on the line plot, it's going to be 21. Let's go down to our next question. Which temperature occurred the most frequently? Which temperature occurred most frequently? And so let's take a look. So these are the temperatures at the bottom: 95, 96, 97, 98. So you just got to identify which one of these, above which one of these are you going to find the most x's. Above which one are you going to find the most? And it's easily going to be 99 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 above 99. Our next question: which temperature occurred the least frequently? So we just do the opposite. We're going to find the temperature or number at the bottom right here that has the least amount of x's on the line. It's going to be three of them. You got 90, 95, 101, 103. 95, 101, and 103. They each occur once. If you added all the temperatures above 100, what would the sum be? If you added all the temperatures above 100, what would the sum be? So first you have to identify which ones are above 100. Which ones are above 100? So you would be adding up 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. Okay. And your answer when you do that is going to be 928. 928. Our last question, what is the difference between the highest recorded temperature and the lowest recorded temperature? What is the difference between the highest recorded temperature and the lowest recorded temperature? So the highest recorded temperature is right here, is 105. The lowest recorded is 95. So when you see the words difference, that means you're going to be subtracting. You're going to find the difference by subtracting. You take the higher number, 105, you minus 95, you're going to get 10 for an answer. So the answer for that one is going to be 10. So our next exercise is going to be related to North Carolina counties. And this can be found on page number 19 in your math binder. So this page can be found on page number 19 in your math binder. So you can follow along with your sheet, or you can watch it on the screen, but you're going to need that page to do some work on. And let's take a look at it. It shows North Carolina counties. The bar graph below shows the 8 largest counties in North Carolina by estimated land area. So I'll give you a couple minutes. I want you to take a look at it. And in just a few minutes, we're going to just, I want you to be thinking about what you notice and what you wonder about this. What do you notice and what do you wonder about it? So for our live session, I'm going to be having you to type it into the chat box. You're going to type it into the chat box. If you're watching this live recorded later, you're watching the recorded version later, I want you to be thinking about the actual graph itself and what do you notice and what do you wonder about it. So one of the things that you should really be paying attention to is the scale. Okay, so one of the things that you really should be paying attention to is going to be the scale over here. And that looks like it's a pretty large scale, maybe unlike some of the things that we've seen before. So it's one of the things that you probably should be noticing. And one of the things that you could be wondering is how will the actual scale affect the data, or will it affect the data? So next we're going to go on to page number 21 in your binder. So you can turn to page 21 in your binder. And these questions are going to be, the answers are going to be based off of the bar graph from the previous slide from page 19. So these questions, you're going to find the answers in the graph on page 19. So I'm going to just take a few minutes. I want you to have an opportunity to go in and look through these and answer as many as you can on your paper. So again, for these, using a calculator would make it easier, and it's okay for this assignment to use a calculator. There will be times where I ask you not to use a calculator, but this time it's fine. And I'm going to quickly kind of go over the actual answers for it. The first one, what is the difference between the largest county and the smallest county on the graph? So your calculation, your answer for this one should be 120 square miles. 120 square miles, you are doing a subtraction of 950 minus 830. Number two, your answer is 1,775 square miles. 1,775 square miles. Number three, the answer is 45 square miles. Number four, 7,090 square miles. 7,090 square miles. Number 5, 3 times larger. 3 times larger is the answer. So for our actual independent work is going to be located on page number 23. So independent work is located on page number 23, and the title of that one is Analyzing a Line Plot. So what I want for you to do is, this has been assigned to you on Google Classroom, but you're going to work the problems out on your sheet on page number 23. You're going to do that independently, work it out on page 23. And once you're finished, the instructions are going to be in Google Classroom. Once you're finished, you're going to take a picture of your work and you are going to upload it and attach it to the actual assignment. So once you have finished page 23, you're going to take a picture of your work using your computer camera or phone, and then you're going to upload it, attach it to the actual assignment, and only then will you be able to submit it.